everyone, Kaylee, your friendly neighborhood hairstylist here, and today we're doing some winter hairstyles. Happy New Year! It's the first video of the new year, and I've got some ideas for you guys. So for winter hairstyles, I wanted to go with things that are kind of trend hairstyles right now and things that are functional. Because we know winter, it's rough for hair, right? Like it's windy, it's cold, it's wet. There's a lot of things to deal with. There's hats, there's scarves, I mean. So between some cute trendy things and some functional things, I've got you covered for your winter hairstyle. Let's get into it. Speaking of trend hairstyles, let's keep the clip trend going in 2020. Yeah? Yeah. I wanted to do a hairstyle that kind of mixed and matched a bunch of clips because if you're anything like me, you have amassed some clips over the last year. Here's a cute way to wear them. First things first, we're gonna create 3 bubble ponytails. Now obviously, we have Aunt Laura flying in to show you guys how to do this on long hair. It's a little bit fun for short hair because you have less hair to work with. Let's see if I can do it. First, for the short hair, you're gonna take a very small section of hair from the crown of your head and put it into an elastic. I'm gonna start up here on top of my head. I'm gonna take it to just back here, just about like high ponytail position. Sweep that back and secure it in place. Loosen up some hair so that one that's kind of extra loose looks like it belongs. And then when that doesn't work, just stick it under everything else. And then just make peace with its existence because it's not going anywhere. Okay, now we just have 2 more. And basically we're gonna be pulling in some hair and making another ponytail with the first one a couple inches down. And by a couple, I mean exactly 2, because that's how much room you have. All right, so I have to do one more section, which means I need to leave enough hair to sweep back one more time. So let's just check and make sure I'm doing that. Now we can secure it with an elastic. And I actually like to do bubbles as I go in a bubble ponytail because I think everything looks neater at the end. So what we're gonna do is pull apart the hair just between the hair elastics. Just those little bits, and that's how we make the bubble. So you're just pulling this stuff so it doesn't do anything to these guys. And now we do that one more time. And now we can be a little bit less stressed about how much hair we leave down because it doesn't matter. It's the last one. If you wanted to wrap the elastics with hair, you want to do that as you're going. Because going through and doing it after the fact, no. It's literally not gonna happen. And now for the accessory. I have an acrylic clip from Amazon, a snap clip from Urban Outfitters, and these bobby pins, which I believe are Scoonsy. Pretty sure I got them at the drugstore. Listen, I have a lot of hair accessories. It's hard to remember where they all come from. And essentially these are just gonna go over the elastics. So let's make that happen. Gonna do this cute little acrylic one first, and then the snappy clip, and then the bobby pins. And that's the hairstyle on short hair. Now let's show it to you on long hair. It's very much a similar process. You can take a little bit more hair to start with if you want to, but you do want to make sure, again, when you're taking back that second section, you're leaving enough for the third section to come back. And aside from that, it's pretty much the same. Okay, time for your hair accessories. Yes, this is the moment I've been waiting for. You got 8 other reasons and or mystery barrette. And Amazon. And that is this hairstyle. It's very Insta-tastic. Like you need to take a picture of it and put it on your Instagram if you wear it. And there's a lot of options, right? Like you can wrap your hair around the elastics. You can use cute hair ties or scrunchies. You can use hair clips. Whatever you want, make it your own, enjoy it. It's super fun. And now we're moving on to something up and braided. This one is both beautiful and functional. So for the short hair, we're gonna be doing a little Mohawk Dutch braid on top of the head first. I'm going to be leaving out these little pieces of hair because I like to frame my face. If you have bangs, you could go ahead and leave your bangs out right now if you want to. And then you wanna pick up the skinniest of sections right here. The thinner the section, the closer your braid starts to the front. Whereas if you pick up a bigger section, it's gonna start all the way back here and will hardly be visible, which we don't want. Cute little section that you could read a newspaper through. Okay, I couldn't read well through that, but you know, you can kind of see through it. Split it into 3 and braid under. Then you're gonna start picking up new little skinny pieces of hair and bringing them in and braiding under. So the smaller the pieces of hair you bring in, the more bubbles or links your braid has, and thus the more intricate it looks. So if you really want that braid to really pop and show, especially from the front, because it's already on top of your head. If you're tall, it would be hard to see. I'm short, so it's very easy to see. You also want to make sure that this hand that's holding all the pieces is right up next to the root. That way you're keeping tension on all the pieces. Because if you're not holding the pieces tight and holding them close to the root, they have a chance to get a little bit slack, and then the braid's also not going to be as defined and pretty. Then once you've reached where you want your ponytail to sit, you're going to braid a couple more times normally. The reason that I always do that is because when you put in your elastic, there's a chance for the braid to unravel a little bit. And so if anything ends up unraveling, we want it to be the extra little bit of braid right here and not the braid that we worked really hard on down here. Then we're gonna make sure that there's no little hairs hanging on around here, because those are the ones that get all tangled and break when you take the elastic out. Then we're gonna secure. And now I'm going to pull this braid apart by pulling each link starting at the back and moving forward. It's kind of like loosening up a shoelace. Like you wanna be able to start at the very bottom, but you can't. You gotta start up at the top, work your way down. Alrighty, then we're just gonna tighten this up a little bit. And now let's take a look at things and see how they're doing. Because I'm just gonna go ahead and assume you probably have some funny little puffy pieces like this. Maybe you have some volume underneath your braid and it's created its own mohawk situation. Let's address it. Grab your handy dandy bobby pins of choice. And first things first, I'm going to do a bobby pin down the center of the braid. And I'm just sticking the bobby pin down under the surface of the hair and going through, and yeah, it hides pretty well. I'm gonna do one more back here. Now, you don't have to do this. I don't even feel like I really needed to do it this time, but the benefit of doing that is that you can pull the braid apart a little bit more, and the bobby pin's gonna help the braid to stay pulled apart so you get some more volume. Ha ha. And then we just have some pieces where maybe I pulled things apart too much, or maybe I didn't pull them in tightly enough. We're just going to flatten those against the head, pin that in place. Thankfully with braids, you have this kind of like tent over the sides of things, so you can always push the hair up so that it's hiding. You pin it there, and then the braid just kind of falls over and hides everything. Plus, you know, bobby pins make everything more secure. And honestly for me, sometimes I do this and I need 0 bobby pins, and sometimes I do this and I need some bobby pins. And I think it mostly has to do with how tired my arms were and just how the braid came together that day. So it's always just good to take a minute, look at things, see what needs to be done, and do it. And now for the next and final step, we're gonna pull some more hair up to meet this ponytail that we already have going. Now, for me, I'm gonna keep it as a half up, half down hairstyle because these little baby hairs can almost make it into a ponytail, but not quite. Also, I've just really been loving half up, half downs with my haircut. So I'm going to leave maybe a little bit more baby hair out because hi, I'm still me. New year, same me. And then once you've collected the hair that you want to be up, just take a hairbrush, smooth it out, make sure everything's looking good. And then you are ready to secure it with an elastic, but before you do that, let's check for baby hairs. So hold it all with one hand, sweep the perimeter. Hold it with the other hand, sweep the perimeter. We're good. Then we secure it with an elastic. And then just to finish this little guy off, I'm gonna wrap the elastic with a piece of hair and do a little back combing through the ponytail for some more volume. And there is that hairstyle on short hair. I think this is great for getting your hair out of your face as much as you want it to be. I think especially with the extra bobby pins and elastics, it's gonna hold really well through all kinds of weather and craziness. You can wear a scarf with this really easily and it's not gonna get all tangled. It's just a good option. And now for the long hair. Oh, sissy, sissy.
Yeah?
I see that you changed your shirt.
Well, I went to the Bahamas and I came back.
Okay, so real tea is that we're filming this video on 2 totally different days.
Yes, and my tan hopefully gives away. I hope I'm tanner.
I think you're tanner.
You can see my little seasickness tan line.
And then you decided you just couldn't deal with the ruffles.
No, that shirt, it's super cute, but like the ruffles were a lot.
They were in the way?
Yeah.
All
Also,
right.
I like this color story better.
There we go. Now you understand the continuity errors.
There we go. It's really me. It's my bad. I'm sorry, guys.
So for your long hair, basically, you're going to do the same Mohawk thing.
Okay.
Because your hair is long, you're going to want to brush through it and detangle it first.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm actually going to section my hair into the Mohawk and then secure the other part and then do the braid with that.
I think that's a good idea. I was thinking about giving that tip because I think, with short hair, it's a little easier. But also, if braiding is already going to take a lot of, like, mental power for you, then, like, make it easier. Section the hair so that, like, one of the things you have to think about is totally out of the question.
Yeah.
And then, secure it with an elastic and pull it apart. I think the bobby pin trick will be extra good for the long hair because it's heavier, it's thicker, and so having that extra structural support, little push-up bra for your braid.
Oh, we love that.
And then you can actually do the ponytail option, so you can show that to people.
Okay.
So how do you feel about baby hairs? Do you want to leave some of these out?
I think I'll take it all back and then see how it looks.
And there's the long hair version of this hairstyle. It's a great way to get the hair fully out of the way. And obviously it's very similar to the short hair version, but there's a couple extra little tips to help you guys out when you have extra long hair. And finally, let's do another braided hairstyle because I feel like maybe I haven't been braiding as much lately and we need to do that. So for this one, you're gonna start with a bit of a deeper side part and we're going to be braiding around the top and to the back on this one side. I'm very excited. Now, all the tips from last time are gonna help you again this time, but we can add in some more. So first, we're gonna start with a nice slim section right next to the part. Before you even start braiding, you want to picture the shape that the braid is gonna take because that path for the braid is the path that your fingers are gonna follow. So you're gonna be like braiding, 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 braiding until you get to about here. And you just wanna kind of have that in your brain already. And we're splitting it into 3 and braiding under. And then for this, you don't need to slide your finger along and pick up all the hair over the braid. You just need to pick up a piece of hair. And this piece of hair is coming from right next to my part line. Same thing for the front. I'm just picking up a piece of hair, putting it with my braiding section and braiding under. And I am gonna be leaving some pieces out as I go. Obviously, you don't have to. The other thing is, especially on the top, you wanna make sure that you're taking a section from right over where you're braiding. If you start to pull in hair from back here forward, when you get around to the back, you're not gonna have any hair to pull into the braid. Also, it's gonna look a little funny, especially if your hair has more dimension in it, because you're gonna see this like line coming around here, which is gonna create a different shape than the hair swooping back into the braid. And if, you kind of run out of room up here and you don't have a piece that you can bring in, you can skip one, because now the braid's a little farther along and there's a piece that can easily slide into the braid. All right, now I don't want my ear exposed like this, so I'm actually gonna drop this piece back down and I'm not gonna braid a section in this time. That way everything looks pretty right here still, instead of like having my ear exposed on the one side. Sometimes that look is just fine and pretty and everything on myself. I don't love it as much. And actually, I think as I get around the back here, I'm not gonna pull in any more pieces from the front because I don't really need to. What's in my hair? There's a casual hair elastic in my hair that I just discovered after braiding that much of it. Okay, I'm gonna pick up one more little piece of hair right here and braid it in. And now that I've reached almost the back of my head, I'm just gonna braid the rest normally, and then I'm gonna hold my place with a bobby pin. And now we pull the braid apart. So you're just gonna get some slack in there. Basically just means we're pulling stuff apart so there's some air in the braid. Now you don't wanna create a lot of slack. I just think when the braid's a little bit longer like this, sometimes a little bit is helpful, especially once you get up towards the top. Cause see, now I'm all the way up here and I have lots and lots of hair to work with. Whereas if I didn't, I might be pulling super, super hard trying to get these pieces to loosen up, and they're not loosening up because there's not enough hair to do that with. And if you want to bring in that little bobby pin trick from the last hairstyle, you can. Just gonna bobby pin through the base of the braid there, and over here, just adding some stability. Okay, now to make this a fully symmetrical hairstyle thing, I'm gonna take some hair from this side, and I mean, you can take however much hair. You can go like this, and have it all back, all this back, and that's a look and it's cute. You can take just a little bit of this back and it's cute. Look at yourself in the mirror, start messing with your hair, see what makes you feel the most you and cute, do that. What makes me feel me and cute? Let's see, leaving pieces out around my face, keeping it loose, sweeping it back, just like that. We're gonna sweep this to the back of the head and pin it in place a couple times to make sure it is extra secure. And then the end of the braid goes over those bobby pins and you're going to pin it in place. And I'm going to pin sporadically into the braid and let it kind of unravel on its own so that it kind of cascades into the ends and again, looks like a hairstyle. And that is the short version of this hairstyle. I super love it. It's like old school Kayley Melissa in the best possible way. It's also kind of a great way to get a crown braid effect without having to do all the work of a crown braid. And I'm a big fan of that too. And now for long hair.
Fly in the long hair.
Fly in the sister.
Wait, zoom out. Look at our outfit. We're
I'm too
both
short.
wearing the same thing.
Hey, look at my mic cord. All right, so for you, we're doing a full-on updo.
Yes.
So you were sitting here while I was doing that. Do you have questions?
I don't think so. Can I examine?
Yeah. Wow. Looking under the hood. Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you're always picking up right over or slightly in front of where you're braiding, never from behind.
Okay.
Because then you're stealing hair from your future sections. It's like stealing joy from tomorrow. You don't want to do that.
All right, so I need a part first. Right?
Yeah, you want a little bit deeper because I think that just gives you more to work with. I think it makes the hairstyle a little bit prettier too. I have a feeling you're gonna leave some pieces down because we're sisters and very similar. But if your hair is curlier or you like your hair swept off your face, this could be a good hairstyle to help you do that. Basically repeat the same braid that I just did, but with the long hair. So you wanna make sure it's detangled, you wanna make sure you're taking nice small pieces, and of course that the pieces aren't all of the hair between the part and the braid, it's just
Surface
like,
level.
yeah, it's like a piece of hair.
Okay.
Like a half straw.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Anyways,
Yeah.
Makes a little helmet.
Basically just want pins running the length of the Dutch braided section. Then once you've done that, you want to pull it each piece and you want to be pulling at least from the middle or the very innermost part of the braid. Because if you pull just the outside,
Oh, then it's like a skeleton.
yeah. Alrighty, so braid's looking great.
Yes.
We love. So the way this hairstyle differs from our little half updo is that for the half updo, the next step was to take this section of hair back. We're actually not gonna worry about, pinning this guy around and making a half updo. We're just gonna go straight for the updo. So I would say you put the hair into the low ponytail and then you can loosen it up a little bit if you want. And then for the bun, we're doing a braid. You're gonna loosen it up significantly and then wrap it into a bun, pin it in place. And then the end of the first braid goes over, pin it in place, you're all done. So we close here. Just gonna tuck this longest piece back. So I just want to have the difference between the bun and the braid be a little bit more distinct. And so I'm going to pull this braid apart and make it look a little bit more like a messy bun. As with any of my hairstyles that have a bun, you could do whatever kind of bun you want. It could be messy, it could be ballerina, it could be a sock bun. And then this shape was a little bit more oblong when you did it. I kind of want it to be a little bit more round, so I'm just squeezing the sides in. And then I'm just gonna stick this pin in to hold the braid. I have to get this little end. And that's the long hair version of this hairstyle. It's definitely easy as well because it's just the braid and then a bun. But it's something that can look like you put a lot more effort in. And those have been your winter hairstyles for 2020. I hope that you guys enjoyed them. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys do anything different with your hair during the winter versus the summer? I'm curious to know. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button because it helps support my channel. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the Braidaholic family here on Kayley Melissa. It's the best 2020 decision you'll make. I hope that's not true, but I do also hope that you join the Braidaholic family. And all of y'all can hit that bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. But whether you're old or new or a casual lurker, thank you for spending time with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye! Oh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, while you were gone, I found an Instagram account that is Golden Retriever and his best friend who's a duck. Do you want to help us? With the
You haven't been on camera in so long, Pippin.
You so ready for snuggles and naps?